I'll admit, the coup caught me on the back foot. Always figured the console for a power snatcher. But I'd never put bits down on him betraying the Sovereign. They seem so tight-knit. Just think about all those posters of the pair of them that'll have to change now. A real crying shame. I'd say it's about as likely as a sprat learning the polka. The Sovereign's misfortune is our gain, as far as I'm concerned. The console might be projecting strength, but by my reckon, Protectorate's more unstable now than ever before. Oh yeah? What's needling you? Shit. Knew I was forgetting something. Well, if this ain't mortifying as law, I had some trouble adjusting in the years after Horizon Point. I was in pain more times than I wasn't. Had trouble sleeping. The drinks helped. Until they didn't. Those bottles ain't half full, are they? I appreciate the concern, Commander, really, but there's no problem. You have my word. I'm good. Val'll tell you the same. Besides, I found other ways to cope. Healthier ones. Those are some nice vintages. Or will be, someday. Could even turn into collector's items, depending on how things shake out in Arcadia. Be a crying shame to just space them. Honestly, I'd forgotten I even stashed them in that safe until you mentioned it. I just wanted them somewhere out of sight, so I didn't lean on a bad habit. I'm not sure anyone would consider that healthy. When I'm not out there heroically saving the colony, I like to tinker around the ship or work on Val. I exercise. Been considering taking up cross-stitch. What do you think? I'll try to avoid poking out any eyes. Was there anything else you needed, Commander?
Unaccountably so.
But going any faster grossly increases the threat of collapse. Burying us beneath the snow benefits no one.
So long as we are operating within the statistical parameters given to us. I see absolutely no reason to delay. Pick up the pace. Have you at least determined the cause of the avalanche?
Inconclusive at present. Potential causes for weakened snowpack include mortar fire, a crashed ship, perhaps even a small rift developing near the peak.
Architect, preserve me from guesswork. I want more concrete answers before the week is out. This cannot happen again.
I do recall a frantic scout filing a report predicting this eventuality. Perhaps a reviewing of his statistics may yield a full explanation.
What could possibly be keeping the repair personnel so long? Oh, greetings. By any chance, did you happen to encounter the repair personnel I dispatched to Resistor Bank 2789B12? Our new JTY-1030 resistor banks are built with enough durability to suffer through a tremendous amount of misuse. But the brutish handling by the Protectorate is too much for it. The misuse is causing moisture uptake, which causes the resistors to give off more heat. In the snow, that means more moisture, which means even more heat. I'm sure you can observe that the problem is cyclical in nature. I don't suppose you'd be willing to aid me in fixing this? Ursopods, Protectorate forces, rogue scrappers, blizzards, mantisaurs, maybe even Auntie's choice forces. Truly a smorgasbord of unfortunate options. In the short term, it's wreaking havoc with the weather and causing small, localized blizzards. Long term, the archive would suffer irreparable damage to multiple systems. Undoubtedly, this would reduce its maximum operations per millisecond. Obviously, this is unacceptable. I loathe that, for now, our actions may aid the Protectorate, but we must protect the archive. It's down in the valley just southwest of the archive. The heat has liquefied all the snow off the glass surface. It is an easy location to observe. Oh, this is most appreciated. Unfortunately, the previous repair personnel took the only repair kit I had on hand. I'll mark the coordinates of the resistor bank on your map, but locating the repair personnel will be up to you. If you find him, you find the kit. I hope. Otherwise, the repair will be most difficult. I'll guide you.
Searching for target. Continuing investigation. Infiltration.
You have my thanks. My monitoring station has already informed me that the resistor bank is operating as expected. Such good work definitely deserves a reward. That is most unfortunate, but at least his sacrifice did help improve the operations per millisecond. I will include his name in the records for this repair.
Arcadia. What is all sorts. Yet what else would you expect from a two-bit authoritarian who also...
Dunderhead, who craves absolute power.
Now upward and onward. Pretend I have the sun in my eyes.
She's just the best.
Hey, you there. Got a minute? Hey, you there. I got a job that needs doing if you've got the time. It pays, of course. I need help finding some lost supplies. Of course. Wouldn't trust someone who takes a job without knowing about it first. It's like this. The dullards in orbit dropped a slew of pods in the wrong place. One of them has a critical crate of supplies in it. Find it and bring it back. Real simple, see? Job's a simple one. Can't rightly figure what else needs jawing about. Missing parts for Auntie's Choice of standard infantry boots, sizes 6 to 14. They botched it and dropped a whole mess of them, but I only need you to lay hands on the one. Don't stress your brain pan over it, friend. Wouldn't go messing around with them if I was you anyhow. Leave them be. Might be stuffed to the rafters with mantisaurs, and merciful law, there's no labels on the pods. Just means the next fella to take the job has better odds of finding the right one. Guess the faster delivery is like to be more profitable than waiting for some rube who'd make a proper mess of it. Right, you got yourself a deal, friend.
Torpificator at ready status. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Taking them. Back and scan. Standing by to stupefy. Locking them down. Mitigating the threat.
Get their Trina time!
Threat detected. Mobilizing. Fortificator is charged. Healing. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Fortification in progress. Mitigating the threat.
kindly to troublemakers. Reloading so I can unload.
Proceeding to attack. Adversary vulnerability.
So, you folk just drop into a war zone, find an empty building, and set up shop? Isn't that dangerous?
Yeah, pretty much. And yes, very. But the profits are worth it.
You aren't afraid of getting, I don't know, robbed? Or killed? Or probably both?
Tell me, is the reason you're here because we have decent food? If you kill or rob us, you'll be stuck with rations forever. Don't shoot the hand that feeds you.
Appreciate you handling our dirty work.
If you're looking to buy, head inside. Just don't cause any trouble.
Come in. Let me know if anything catches your eye.
Talk with the guy behind the counter if you need something. I'm just here to help.
Takes all sorts.
Let me know if you're looking for anything in particular. Making a profit? What else? War is very lucrative. especially when you can sell to both sides.
Feel free to use the workbench. Just don't break it.
Yeah! Yeah.
You're back! Find them supplies yet? Merciful law, I reckon the troops will be glad to hear it. We've been itching to get these for days. Here's your pay, plus the hazard pay as agreed. Thanks again.
Hey, Commander. Something tells me the Order won't be keen on letting an enemy soldier walk through their gates. Reckon I ought to step away?
Heard that rift near the archive has destabilized. Must be a sign. The Protectorate's latest action clearly runs counter to the plan. Mark my supposition. It's only a matter of time until we're called upon to take back the archive. Halt! The Oracle Laureate sent ahead to expect someone matching your description. However, he said nothing about admitting questionable allies. Members of Auntie's Choice are not permitted inside Laplace's garden. Your companion will have to wait outside.
Huh. If only one of us could have foreseen this situation. But I'll stay back, Commander. Ain't no reason to cause a scene.
You should heed the wisdom of your friend. The Oracle Laureate is our foremost seer, excluding the presiding bishop herself. He oversees the Department of Predictive Analysis, and in so doing keeps the Order on course. Ha! I've heard some terminological inexactitudes before, but that one sure sullies the quiz. Seers are infallible. Our Oracle Laureate certainly is. Laureate Beckett said to accommodate you as best as possible, but rules are rules. Is this some kind of test? No participants or observants are permitted to discuss Laplace's garden outside its boundaries. You'll discover all you need once inside, after ridding yourself of your problematic auxiliary, of course. Laureate Beckett did impress the importance of not delaying you. Very well, head on in. But behave yourselves. The garden is something of a fragile ecosystem.
Impressed as I am that worked. I ain't sure about this. Being vastly outnumbered by the enemy ain't a corner I like to be backed into.
Agent, I have a message for you. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant, and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. The Artificer Laureate is head of the Department of Applied Scientism, overseeing the exemplars, or craftsmen, of our order. Weapons and technology all fall under her purview. Belvedere Hall used to serve primarily as the garden's hub for all manner of research, instruction, and study. A beacon on the hill of progress. Since the Order's forced dispossession of Spyreton and the Archive, many spaces within the hall have been repurposed to serve as a temporary headquarters. Which is to say, please excuse our mess. We're still remodeling. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely spends time in a sensory deprivation chamber to hone her mental faculties. Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours in the chamber of late, but I'm certain that's all part of the plan. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Really, it's no reason for concern. Nothing in the garden is. Look around you. I don't see a battlefield. Do you? You're right. My response was too ambiguous. Allow me to be more direct. Those in the garden have enough perspective to remain present and to focus on what matters: science and progress. And you for recognizing such quality of vision. But now, I fear I have kept you long past an ideal duration. May all your problems precede solutions.
Feels real nice in here. Wouldn't mind us dragging our feet so we can enjoy the warmth a little longer.
Your contributions are much appreciated.
Smart researchers patronize the scientician's surplus. Quality goods at algorithmically determined prices.
Welcome to the Scientician Surplus. I am the Scientician in question. Any inquiries about the stock may be directed to me. Either you intend to buy or you intend to go without. It would be unethical for me to interfere with your decision-making process. It's there in the name, surplus. Please peruse with discernment.
Or felt by the unaided eyes and tongues of their consumers. So Auntie's Choice administrators were satisfied with this inept solution. Purple berries are now a common nutritional and flavoring agent throughout the current world. Mindless Auntie's Choice especially purchase a large variety of purple berry-themed foods and beverages.
I'm cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third conviction today. People will start to worry.
The label should read live parasite-free. But in any case, Auntie's Choice once again demonstrated their contempt.
Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today? Regrettably, no. Our most recent studies show that such a combination is too potent for most scholars to handle. Oh, undoubtedly. Looks can be deceiving, after all. Nevertheless, much as I might enjoy watching your thesis borne out, we must abide by the protocols of the garden. Alas. Convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence and well-being, leading to 22.9% more scientific breakthroughs in a given quarter. Interested? Between you and me, I've always felt the same. What good are words if they're not accompanied by action?
You know, you do a passable impression of a scientician. Did you grow up near one of our settlements? Have a few years of order training?
I'm quite sure I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I understand you may technically count as a member, but there's a perfunctory element to your articulation. You don't believe in the plan, and you're clearly up to something. She sized you up almost immediately, Commander. Been softly probing you for information. I clocked her the first moment she opened her mouth. Excellent question. I've been wondering the same thing. Well, do I have to shoot up the place? Or will you come clean immediately? Who do you work for, little mole?
By the architect, keep your voice down, please. Even if what you say is true, this isn't a conversation best had amidst present company. Let's talk somewhere more private. Behind the CAF integration point, perhaps?
Please continue to enjoy the background music, which I have selected today based on its arithmetic-based harmonic progressions. My name is Edmund Vandersloot. Tenured laureate in the tertiary Identity School of Numismatics with the Order of the Today's lecture will focus on 5 numbers.
You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. You might put down your proverbial hand once you hear the specifics. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. I'm limiting my water intake and using other pharmaceuticals to combat the effects. It's not a perfect system, but it works adequately enough. It makes the mind quieter, like closing the door on a screaming crowd. It's not unpleasant. It'd be a lot more difficult to conduct my survey of the garden from outside the garden. Why would the Order want to create a society of undistractable little academics whose only desire is to advance the plan? I wonder. One could make that argument, and obviously have. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. Took you long enough to ask. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? So you've heard of us. Good. That makes this easier. My primary task has been to watch the Order. But I'm confident my superiors would agree. Physical proof is of far greater value than mere rumor. Nothing nefarious, if that's the needle in your conscience. We only mean to study the drug and consider all of its many applications. I know that must read as terribly vague to you, but I'm not at liberty to provide more detail than that. Well, I'm not asking you to do something an honest person would. Think of this as a business transaction, if that eases your mind. No, this is about control. Everything is. Most see this as a war of survival. But what everyone's really fighting for is control over the narrative. To be declared victor and have their vision for Arcadia deemed superior. It follows that a drug capable of suppressing discontent could also be used to suppress greater forms of resistance. That's all. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? It's too diluted by the time it enters circulation. I need the unfiltered drug, which is only accessible to those working in water reconditioning. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier.
Garden in its current state. Please, try to capture your exact satisfaction to the nearest 10th integer.
100? Certainly. That's the right answer, isn't it? I can show my math if you need. I'd really love to stay.
Determining the remainder of your stay in Laplace's garden is not the purpose of this survey, but your unprompted insecurity has been noted.
Back again, are we? Oh, you were quite stealthy, but I make it a habit to keep aware of my surroundings at all times. Slumber is no excuse for lowered vigilance. Ever hear of uni-hemispheric slow-wave sleep? At any rate, I am quite conscious, merely waiting. Only whilst simultaneously attempting to repel waves of near-paralyzing trepidation, as one does. Exactly. I barely notice them anymore. Oh, but do pardon me. I am easily digressed by a good tangent. What were we discussing? Oh, yes. Now I remember. Sometime last year, I predetermined an occasion of momentous import would happen today, right here, at these very coordinates. None taken. Oh, but now I've forgotten to introduce myself properly, haven't I? Leslie Beckett, Oracle Laureate, Seer Supreme, leader of the Department of Predictive Analysis, and not terribly good at informal introductions, evidently. Forgive me if I don't shake hands. I prefer to keep my skin microbiome free of exogenetic cells. You understand. But now, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the agent we've been expecting. I knew loitering at this location would yield results. I, don't suppose you've stumbled upon any of our excogitation chapels around Cloister by chance? Excogitation chapels are order residencies where one can meditate in solitude on specific theorems relating to the plan. They're scattered all around Cloister. Prior to the war, such focused study led to all manner of breakthroughs, with audio logs routinely kept by the scientician in residence. In these unprecedented times, such logs could harbor hidden wisdom. However, with the war on, I've sadly been unable to get my hands on the last of these recordings. All confidential, I'm afraid. Many are still under peer review, but I can assure you, their value is commensurate with, the discovery of gravity, or has the potential to be. Oh no, I couldn't possibly ask you to endanger yourself by seeking out these logs. Cloister is rather treacherous, and some of the chapels are difficult to reach by design. However, if you happened upon these chapels and recovered these logs, I would most certainly be interested in their contents. By my reckoning, the amount of logs to be collected is 4. You have that? 4. No more, no less. Each chapel should have at least one somewhere inside. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. How do you know about that? I mean, that is quite the allegation. I deny it effusively. First, answer me this. What is your interest in this matter? As much as I relish the idea of entrusting a stranger with sensitive and potentially incendiary information, I shall have to decline further comment. Perhaps if you were to help me out with recovering those logs I asked for, I could be more amenable to sharing knowledge, but let's put a pin in that for now, shall we? If there's nothing else, I would like to return to my deep breathing exercises. Oh yes, I'm aware. Better to know the spy in our midst than receive a replacement more capable of evading notice. Besides, Miss Doyle's harmless, and she serves the best convictions at the parlor, bar none. Oh, my friend, my estimations are never wrong. Did she express that as her intention? You should do as she asks. Get her that sample. This is an unparalleled opportunity to see the shape of Sub Rosa's web. We only need plant the right fly. After collecting the sample, mix it with this liquid tracer. It'll make the drug functionally inert and allow us to track it wherever it shows up next. Not as such. Not at the moment. However, let me put it this way. Any potential for interference above null is worth keeping an eye on. I did not become the Oracle Laureate by getting caught with my pencil down. Here, take this key. It will grant you access to water reconditioning, which you can find on the eastern side of the garden. You will also need this passcode for the terminal inside. Don't we all? Nothing beyond what I already included in my 165-page summary of the incident. Why do you ask? His resignation has been duly received and accepted. Where he goes from here or what he does now is up to him. I expect we won't hear from him anytime soon. On a more positive note, the Department of Predictive Analysis's biennial summits will be far less contentious. Landon Wiley was afflicted by that which strickens all scholars, the desire to effect change, to advance the plan at any cost. Were his methods wrong? Unequivocally. Should he have come to me with his concerns? Undeniably. But was his conclusion categorically sound? That remains debatable. Landon had the potential to be one of the greatest minds of our order. Is it wrong that I should mourn that lost future? But let's move on to other topics, please. All this fractious talk is giving me a stomachache and... oh, I just got rid of the last one. Oh, the garden is a marvel, isn't it? A prime example of how this colony could function if led by science and rationality instead of fear and oppression. Everything within the garden was meticulously selected by a committee of the Order's best archivists to provide for mental clarity and focus. My word, you should have seen the debates over the shrubbery. I've never witnessed such passionate discourse over foliage of all things. And what a history it is. The Order of the Ascendant, along with the Archive, has been headquartered on this moon since the founding of the colony. It was given to us by the matriarch herself. She understood how vital our contributions would be to Arcadian society, which some have forgotten. It is why we're here, in fact. Cloister has two things in abundance: ice and geothermal power. Both made it the ideal location for the archive, and we've utilized its vast computational power ever since. Who's to say it didn't? Do you think it mere coincidence the Order was ready to quit the Protectorate en masse the moment the invaders arrived? Seems statistically improbable. That's all I'll say. But other stray inquiries occupy your mind. Impossible, I'm afraid. The Protectorate is rather well entrenched at present, and nothing short of an all-out siege is likely to dislodge them. If you're determined, I recommend consulting with the presiding bishop on the matter. She can tell you more.
Of scientism. I transmit continued tribulations from Cloister.
A second make-up exam will not be offered, so I hope you studied this time, Briar. You may begin now.
Right. No pressure.
Huh. This is prime real estate, and it's sitting abandoned. Reckon it even occurred to the Order that they could board the folk at Matriarch's Mercy here?
By necessity, we are forced to estimate outcomes based on
I hope you have good news for me. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Your reward, as promised. Aw, wondering if you'll ever see me again? Precious. I'll remain in the garden a little while longer, but it would be best if we limited contact with one another. No offense. But who knows? The plan mystifies even the greatest minds. Perhaps our paths will intersect again someday.